the reading from something you forgot along the way. Today's story is, let's see, number 44, page 120, on self-reflection. Everyone makes mistakes. Whether we put our mistakes to use depends on how deeply we reflect on our actions. It is desirable to reflect until the tears come. Let's read it one more time. On self-reflection, everyone makes mistakes. Whether we put our mistakes to use depends on how deeply we reflect on our actions. It is desirable to reflect until the tears come. Yeah, this is one of my favorite passages in the book also. And because I don't think without Buddhism, I would have ever appreciated the mistakes, or which is kind of same as suffering, the sufferings we go through in life, because Buddhism helps us see the value or the purpose, the meaning that we can derive from those mistakes and sufferings. It all depends on whether we put those mistakes to use or not. If we keep repeating the same mistake again and again, that means we're not learning much from it. So we feel kind of sense of meaninglessness because there's no improvement, there's no joy, there is no growth. But if we can learn from those mistakes, then they become part and parcel of the success that we can enjoy. Because without mistakes or failures, how can we know what works, what doesn't work? If we don't know what doesn't work, we're not gonna know what works. Like Edison, trying again and again with his light bulbs. I recommend we all find time to watch a documentary about his life and what kind of effort he put in, constantly failing, not being able to get it right. But because he was able to do self-reflection, I mean, that's more like a scientific way to find out why this cause doesn't bring me the effect I want. But in spiritual realm too, when we suffer basically or because of the mistakes or the bad causes we create, or the bad conditions we put ourselves in, if we reflect on them deeply, so it all depends on that depth, how deeply we reflect. Someone would just say, oh, I made a mistake. Okay, I'll be more careful next time. And then finished. So that's only the, like one little bit of one thought. That's it, finished. But if someone says, oh, I made a mistake, but why? Why did this happen? What are the cause and conditions behind it? We delve in deeper and more slowly, see the process that led us to that painful experience or the mistake or whatever bad effect it is. If we take our time and practice patience and perseverance, those paramitas, to find out why this happened and what can I learn from it. Obviously, we don't want to make the same mistake again because we don't want to suffer from the same thing again. It says if you stumble over the same stone, that's a sign of foolishness. We don't want to be foolish. We want to improve. We want to learn. So it all depends on how deeply we reflect on our actions. And sometimes we reflect very deeply, tears begin to fall, and we feel very bad. But actually, that might be showing the depth of the reflection we are having. So it's not bad. If we pair it up with paramita wisdom, trying to find out how this happened, then we will become more immune to next time repeating that same mistake. And that's how we can see what is working, what does happiness really mean. So we should celebrate it. Yeah, so that's how, like we talked in the Right View Lab yesterday too, that's how the ocean of suffering, where we are floundering every day and feeling lost, not knowing what it's all about, that ocean of suffering transforms into an ocean of treasures. So all those tears shed come back to us as pearls. All the suffering we're going through, once we understand it through deep reflection and through the healing power of the Dharma, all that suffering turns into sources of gratitude and joy. And if we tie it back to the phrase a day for today, the 23rd, the most courageous act is to tackle the most difficult task. So indeed, when we suffer, it is very painful to look at that suffering and ask ourselves, how did I bring myself to this point? It's easy to just blame others and then wait for them to improve, because then we don't have to do anything. But it's very difficult to look at our own mind and ask those difficult questions. How did I get here? What did I do? Or what did I fail to do? So this becomes the most courageous act, to tackle this most difficult task of being honest with ourselves, brutally honest, like Rick likes to say, and looking at ourselves in the mirror and finding the cause within and gaining self-knowledge. Yeah, so that's the process. So good job, everyone, for taking the time to be here, knowing the value of mental hygiene, spiritual growth, working on ourselves, have this growth mindset. And today is Tuesday, so have a beautiful Tuesday. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Beta.